Hi, it's Karen here. Today I thought we would paint a really simple little pansy watercolour, just the flower heads. Um, I'm going to do it on a bookmark size paper, watercolour paper, because I think that'd be quite sweet. So anyway, this is what we're going to be painting today. I'll put all the materials that I use in the description below, and let's get started. Right, I've already cut some paper to size, and I'm just going to show you how I draw these, because I think it would be easier for you to follow if I just draw them out. And it's literally just like a butterfly, really. So it's kind of that shape and that shape, and then we give it kind of like a little nose shape in the middle, and then just give it, and then just take it down to that middle bit there. I'm going to leave a small gap, and then just, and it's really as simple as that. Okay, I'm just going to show you again, and it's just kind of like a wing shape, and then in there I'm just doing like a little, I suppose it kind of looks like an odd shaped ribbon, really, doesn't it? And then I'm just bringing that in there, and just bringing that down into where that shape, that petal shape or wing shape that you've done, and leaving a little gap, and that's it. That's the basis of our pansies. Really nice and simple. We're breaking the elements down so it's easy for you to follow. I hope you can see that okay. And that's what we're going to be painting onto. Okay, right, I'm going to set this one aside because I've actually done smaller ones because I think it would be easier to show you. Now, I'm not going to paint all of these because the drying time, but I'm just bringing my paints in. Now you can use whatever colour paint palette you would like. Now I'm just, I think with a damp brush, I'm just going to put some clean water into these opposite sides of these petals, okay? And then I use a pointed brush, a size 4 pointed brush if you go, because it'll be much easier for you to control. Now we're going to limit the palette so we don't get really bogged down. Now I'm just putting a puddle of paint on my paint tin, and I'm going to load my brush up with yellow, and I'm just going to drop that little yellow centre in, and then very carefully I'm just going to let that just bleed out ever so slightly. Okay, so we're kind of making a bit of a puddle of paint. Now I'm going to do the same again here on the bottom one, and I'm just going to put in some clean water, and again I'm just going to just pop it in there. Okay, now I'm going into my puddle of water. Now I'm just going to touch just the ends, just right on the end, because we want the watercolour to react with the water to give us a very soft texture to this painting. Okay, so I'm going to go in and load my brush up again. When I say load, it's literally just the tip, and I'm going to be mindful to take off as much of the paint, and I'm just dropping it in because we put that lovely clean water in, didn't we? And we're just teasing that paint round. Okay, now white space is important when you're painting these because it will give us a help with our perspective. Now I'm going to go in here, and I'm just going to, because we laid that water down, didn't we, before, and we're just literally dropping that in. Now I've left a bit of white space. I'm really happy with that. I don't mind that at all. So again, I'm just going in. I don't think I wet this one, did I? That's the trouble, I forget where I've been, and I'm just literally just dropping that in. Okay, and let's do it again on this little chap here. Let's just put some clean water in, and let's just put some water in there. We're just dampening the paper, so it's helpful for us to put our paint in. Now if you want to change it up slightly, I'm just going to drop a little bit of blue in there just to give me a little contrast, and I'm just dropping that in. And can you see how the paint's just, it's finding the water that we put down, and it gives you a really soft looking flower. It's really a lovely process to use, and it's another good tool process to use when you're using painting with your watercolor. Gonna go in again, and I'm just gonna, again, I'm being mindful of my paint, and I know that this is looking, it's got a bit of purple on there, but I'm really not worried about that at all. It gives us a nice tint to the paper. Now again, I'm just dropping that in and working my way down. If it bleeds into the petal below, I'm not worried about that. Not worried about that at all. That'll really help us. And as you can see, we're starting to build up the pansy. So let's just drop a little bit more blue into our palette, and I'm just going to pop that in there like so, and then I'm going to let's paint this one in nice clean. Okay, if you do go over on your paper, on your watercolor, don't worry, it doesn't matter. These are really lovely, fun paintings to do if you're practicing. It's really good to practice with these, and they don't have to be masterpieces because you're just getting to grips with learning a new technique, and you'll, once you start feeling comfortable with it, you'll really like it. Now can you see that's really bled it started to bleed into that bottom one, and I quite like that. I think it's got that spidery look, and I like that very much. So let's just wet these other petals down. Now I'm going to go in and I'm just going to drop. Now that one's really decided to splay. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to see where it takes me, because I think, yeah, let's just see. We're experimenting and we're exploring, and as long as you keep your palette nice and limited, you shouldn't get into trouble. It will keep it nice and fresh and won't get muddy for you. Just gonna drop in some more water just to damp my paper, and oh, that's running into that top one, but I don't actually want it to go into that one, so I'm just going to take some paper tissue and take that out. Okay, and let's drop a little bit more in that side. Yeah, and why not? Let's put some down at the bottom and just see what we get. And I'm literally just with the tip of my brush, I'm just dabbing it very, very lightly and just letting the water pick the watercolour paint up and just move it about on my paper. Okay, it's a really lovely soft way of working. So again, I'm just going to just drop some paint in there, and again just around there. It just lends itself to, because pansies they're quite soft, aren't they, and quite ephemeral. So we want to keep that lovely light, almost like tissue paper. We want to keep that look. So we don't want too many brush marks in this when we're painting pansies. Just want to keep it nice and light. So change that up a bit, put some blue in there, and let's put some blue in there. And we're building up our pansies, aren't we? Okay. Right, I'm just going to go in, and just with the tip of my brush, I've got quite a strong colour, so I'm putting it on my paint tin, and I'm just taking the excess off, and I'm just going to let it run, so it softens. The paper is still quite damp. I don't think this one's quite damp enough now. I'm just going to remember, keep that white space. It will help define your petals on your pansy, and it'll be a lot easier for you to paint. Okay, and again, now you can keep going over your pansy as much as you want. We're kind of glazing now, so you can do as much or as little as you like. So I'm just going to put another stronger colour in there, just to see kind of what we're going to get. Let's put some in here. And just tease that around. if you think that your paper's got a little bit dry, just put a little tickle of water in there, and with the stronger colour, just pick it up on the tip, always mindful that how much you've got on your brush, and let's just add that in there. Okay, and it's kind of just giving us the center, isn't it, of the pansy. Now we're not getting bogged down with veins and things on this. This is a really nice loose introduction to painting pansies, so we're keeping it nice and loose. We're just exploring and playing with our watercolor paints, and just to see, just keep dotting that in and just seeing how it reacts. Okay, if you want to take those brush marks out, absolutely just get your water and just push the paint around, and just, but keeping the white space in your mind, because that will really help, as I said before, separate your petals. Okay, and you just keep building up and building up. I quite like this little blue one that we did, so let's just darken him up a bit. Okay, so if you want to go with a darker blue, or maybe even a indigo blue, and just touch that in. Play and just explore, okay. Now you can keep layering and layering and layering. It's a really nice process, but do take the time to let it dry. I'm kind of pushing my luck a bit on this, because I wanted to show you how to lay the paint down and to push the paint around. But if you just let your painting go much damper than what I've let mine go, you'll really have fun, just pushing the paint around and getting these lovely veins and these kind of soft tissuey petals. Okay. There we have it. There's I'll just put my paints to one side, and that's still very wet. It needs to dry so we can go on to the next stage, but I'll bring the other one back and you can see side by side, and you can see which, the difference that building up and building. I really like this one. I think it's really got a lovely softness about it. I think this one went a bit crazy, probably not as successful, but it's a really good way of learning, and so you can compare what you've already put down. Well, I hope you give this a go. It is very, very good to start pushing us now and start getting more not proficient, but just pushing us out of our comfort zones from our abstracts. But Still very loose and still lots of fun to do. Well, I'll say goodbye and see you again soon. Take care. Bye.